Hi everyone. Well, this is week 5 of our Equip series. We're looking at evangelism. How do we engage with the people around us, friends, family, colleagues? How do we share the good news of Jesus in modern day Australia? What does that look like? How do we avoid kind of cringy, awkward moments? What's the right time to do it? And when we get the opportunity, how do we take it? Like, how do we approach the topic in a way that's going to be meaningful? We can become isolated in our Christian communities, Christian friends, Christian schools, but we want to explore how do people think, how do people engage with truth. These are all the questions we've been working through over the last couple of weeks. Last week we took quite a heady look at what motivates people. What are the underlying kind of desires and needs in people's lives which are motivating their life decisions, and how do we understand our friends and colleagues who are not Christian better by having those ideas. And the two were people's desire for freedom to kind of craft their own destinies free of any sort of controlling authority, and the second was efficiency and how the market economy has taken over our lives in many respects, and we make choices to make ourselves more efficient, to be more competitive. Life can become transactional, and so we looked at those two. This week we want to continue that exercise, going back to Sam Chan's book, and here's the big word we've got to wrap our head around, and this is hermeneutics. How do we interpret the gospel for the culture that we live in? And I really enjoyed this chapter because it's so practical, and it's almost comically practical. I think Sam has intentionally picked a couple of pop culture topics to analyze and to understand what are the inherent needs and desires of people that are driving the popularity of these things. And as I say, I think he's picked topics which we might overlook or assume there could be no value, no value in interrogating. The use of mason jars in coffee shops is a good example, and so you may read some of them and think, wow, this is crazy, but I think what he's just trying to do is he's trying to help us understand that in many aspects of life we can understand more about what people are thinking, or we can identify the sort of hidden needs and desires of our friends by looking at what do they enjoy, why do they enjoy it, and in all these things we're just looking for clarity. We're looking for a better understanding of the people around us so that we can meet them at their point of need. So we are going to get practical. See the chapter more as food for thought, as it were. The questions will work from there, and we'll do a bit of our own practical interrogation of a couple of pop culture topics. But my hope is that as we go through this, I don't think that all of us will become cultural commentators in this process. I think doing what Sam has done with these topics is probably a gift. It's probably something that someone with a gift of evangelism in particular would be very good at. And so I don't think the point is that we all need to be able to do this on every topic. I think as a community it would be great if we can identify people with gifts. In future we may have opportunities to do public evangelism, and so I think it'd be great to know who in the room might be carrying that gift in that moment. But even if we don't become experts in this exact practice, I think this content will provoke you a bit. It will spur some thoughts in your own head, and I think it is still good for us to at least try and identify, like, what are the things that our friends and families relate to well, and maybe as a group we can help each other figure out, well, what are the desires and needs, and how does the gospel meet those in a way that the world can't. And so that's the goal of this week. I really look forward to chatting. This is going to be more of a workshop than a just didactic thing of answering questions. don't expect everyone to come with a neat set of questions with answers. I'm looking forward to chatting through them as a group and hopefully kind of working off each other a bit and provoking some thoughts. I'll see you on Thursday. Cheers.